Danny Raymond, the voice behind Ray's Guide, and all I can say is, wow. It turned out, as we expected, that CIG did close the show with Squadron 42 with news that was less news since it had been leaked from official sources and actually been confirmed by Todd Pappy. To me, personally, that Squadron 42 is feature complete. But then we had that amazing video wrapping it up. And it was very interesting when you saw the video that so many things that they had mentioned all during the prior day and the prior 2 days about the skin texture and the hair and the clothing. And so when they did that before and after of what they did between the that 1 hour walkthrough that we did, so many years ago, the vertical slice, and we all thought that was the greatest thing ever, was the vertical slice. And then they showed the before and after, but because they had how they had set it all up, we knew exactly what had caused the difference between that before and after. That it wasn't just some filter, it was real technology they'd really developed, it was really in the game, and was really going to be in our hands with the character creator from Squadron 42. And we'd seen the character creator in live. And at this point, gosh, I gotta think somewhere out there's people, maybe even hundreds of people saying, but it's a scam, right? It's always been a scam. I guess this is our chance to get it, get our last laughs. Again, we don't know when it's going to be out, but boy, this gave such a sense of feeling that yes, it's going to be out, it's going to be here, it's going to be soon. And Chris's last statement in the video was, we are going to again ask us to be patient, to, oh God, I finally got the house lights up, to be patient, to hold the line. It is going to be worth it. It certainly feels like it is going to be worth it. And then the interesting thing is right before then, Todd Pappy gave us the thing that we are going to be hopeful for beyond just Squadron 42 coming out. The long process of long desired process of user bases that's going to be the next really big thing, is going to be the user bases, and gave us some preview and details about that. I have tons of questions about that, and they will be taking up a large part of my content in the next few weeks. Also, right before that, the distribution centers, they got into those, and I'm expecting a lot from the distribution centers as well. Again, I have a lot of questions as well, but it looks like they've now, it was all with the above ground part of it, so they aren't always going to have below ground parts. But the distributions and finally seeing the cargo elevators in place and what the cargo elevators are going to be capable of. A lot of excitement there when the crowd went really excited when they saw tanks and buggies coming up in the cargo elevator, because that really solves the problem that we've been having. Not so much how we spawn a ship with a ship in it, but basically how do we go out on a mission with a ship and all the stuff that's supposed to be in the ship. And it's going to be right there in the cargo elevator, which is so no more having to get in your ship and fly to an outpost and check your vehicles out from the outpost, which who knows where they actually came from. One of my questions about player bases is going to be, how do we incorporate hangars and player bases and together? Because it was said that your hangar was going to be a key part of your player base, but that was not part of Todd Pappy's video. But it's very clear that some sort of automated warehouse building connected to some sort of hangar building of various sizes is going to be a big part of having a player base that really functions for its purpose of being our place in the verse. So that's going to be one of the things I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to be talking a lot about new missions. We're going to be talking about a lot of Pyro bases. One thing I can confirm from my playthrough last night in the Pyro playground is that compared to the bases in the star stations in Stanton, the ones in Pyro do have lots of crawl spaces and ladders and jump puzzles and behind the scenes areas. One thing that was sort of teased that I found very interesting was when they talked about the abandoned bases, saying that they had no electricity. But I was thinking, well, what if you brought some electricity? What if you brought a portable generator and brought the fuses needed to connect the wires? You know, the possibility of temporarily activating one of these abandoned locations to do something with, or the possibility that some criminal organization has activated one of these abandoned bases for some purpose. I know how game designers work, and if as soon as you say nothing happens here, their minds are immediately thinking, well, but what if it does? And so I suspect we will be seeing a lot happening in terms of abandoned bases. Anyhow, they've got the lights up, so you can kind of get an impression, a much more accurate impression, about how big the hall is. And it really was filled at the end for the announcement, and everybody was up and cheering. It was a very exciting time. Boy, that's a lot of chairs, and there were butts in pretty much all of them until they jumped up and there was a standing ovation at the end. This has been a great couple of weeks. Great couple of days. It was neat sharing these updates with you. I'm certainly charged up. As I said going in here, one of the big picture goals for CIG at this Citizencon was going to be to try to steal the spotlight back. And this certainly was the kind of event and the kind of videos, kind of presentations that would steal the spotlight back. I mean, during that Squadron 42 presentation, I was just thinking, you know, no other game really has either the gameplay or the detail or the fidelity or the character, how do you phrase it? The character quality, you know. I think even the main characters of Starfield at their most evocative just hold nothing, even up to the minor characters that we saw in that video, much less the major ones. And I think that was why, you know, this has taken a long time to come up with all these extra. You know, we were often joking about, you know, how much money CIG was spending on watery eyes and little bits of hair, and that was for a very simple reason. If you've paid Mark Hamill dollars, you want Mark Hamill to look at his best, even by Mark Hamill standards. And that is, of course, important because if you know, for the next successor to Arena Commander, not Arena Commander, to Squadron 42, if CIG wants to hire some actor for mocap, they're going to want to have a situation where that actor thinks that, you know, CIG is going to make them look good. And clearly, CIG has the technology in the Star Engine to take an A-list actor and make them look like an A-plus list actor. And that goes a long way to helping bring top talent into your project. This is just so state-of-the-art on so many levels. It's going to be Squadron is going to be a game. It's a single linear storyline, so it won't have a lot of play hours to it. But it's going to be play hours that you'll cherish every second of, and that's what's going to be its mark. Other games will probably be able to claim how many more hours of playtime you get with it. But yeah, you can get a lot of hours of playtime just playing checkers. But that doesn't make checkers a compelling computer game. Yeah, CIG definitely show where their passion lies, and that is to put you in a movie. That has always been Chris Roberts' thing, to put you in a movie. And that's clearly how I felt watching that trailer. And I think that is how everyone who plays Squadron 42 is going to feel. And we're all going to feel good that we held the line. This was that's kind of going to be the new, I think, the new slogan, and it's also a recognition that we have, and Chris pretty much said so, that the project has expected a lot of us in terms of patience, and it's good when that patience pays off, and it's also good when they recognize that they have required a lot of patience for us. Anyhow, I think anything more I'm going to say, I'm going to kind of first sit on and think about. It's going to be hell to polish, is true, but judging from that video, it's already a long way there. The big question with a video like this is how much of it was polished up just for this video, and how much of it was simply the way it is right now. That will be the difference between whether we're seeing this by the end of next year or the end of the year after next. But as I said in another one of my videos, magnificence deserves patience. I said it in relation to Cathedral, which got me a bit of a criticism for comparing Squadron 42 to a Cathedral, but it is magnificent. And I think we got a big dose of a reminder of how magnificent it has the potential of being, and that therefore it's going to be worth the wait. And again, the people that have been making their careers, your YouTube, small claim to fame, be screaming scam for the last 10 years, they're going to find a difficult time. They certainly will, because people just don't change, don't ever admit that they're wrong. It's the hardest thing for a human ever to do, to admit that they were wrong. But boy, it's going to be tough to maintain that stance. So they'll probably switch to just complaining how long it is, but we know now from what we've seen that, of course, something like this does not happen fast. It does not happen immediate. Magnificence takes time, and magnificence deserves patience. Yeah, I'm walking up more to the front again, see if there's anyone. There's a small crowd here, but I think it's mostly people talking to each other and not anyone important from CIG worth really doing an interview with. That was one thing that was a little bit disappointing about this Citizencon, but they probably would have had to make it a 4-day event, is if they opened up any of the panels to questions and answers. Instead, they just sort of, been more the pattern now, they just sort of knew what our questions would be and tried to answer them in the video anyhow. Anyhow, I'm going to sign it off from here. Again, a reminder that my live Citizencon coverage was sponsored by the Tobii Eye Tracker 5. Again, the URL to get the 15% discount on the Tobii Eye Tracker 5 and to enter the contest for obtaining either the Eye Tracker 5 or a number of Star Citizen game packages is tobii.gg/RaysGuideCon-contest. Fly safe, keep it real, and I'll see you in the verse. This is Daniel Raymond for Ray's Guide.